All right, well, good afternoon, good people. We are live at SGLive 2023 in the Dulles Hilton. I am Saracen for the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, and we have LuffyDV versus poppadux. This is going to be an exciting match. We have the friendliest of Blursings that I have seen all tournament, and we are seeing our drafted party up on screen right now. poppadux opened with a black mage. Luffy followed up with fighter black belt, and poppadux went in with the nun for the last. This is an interesting set of options that we have here. We'll see if the magic cooperates, but we could see either direction on that melee choice as the seed evolves. From a Blursing standpoint, like I said, this is very friendly. I believe that fighter had telemagic. The black mage had Elemental Plus, I think. And nothing had a disqualifying malice. So this really comes down to what the seed throws at us as we get in here, and we see what these two loose items are going to be. Off to the side here. This is a rather cramped space, but we have Danny doing the tracking for us, pushing the buttons. We'll be getting this race on right now. Alright, into Canaria, we'll see what we have for our magic here. No need to check those white shops unless we think that that fighter is going to promote. We get a Fire 3, and, that's pretty helpful. Lock 2, not bad. That was some terrible gold bracelets and Pro Ring minus, but Pro Rings are good. Exit is night learnable. That's actually interesting information that we're seeing on Luffy's screen. poppadux firmly committing with the naming of the fighter to dead. And is off to the races. Is poppadux already up to Toph to get Garland in those first 3 boxes. Big money out of the first chest. That's good news. That's going to solve potential problems with the shop item if we haven't seen that yet. Luffy checking those tops first with a katana -5. Also money. A rather annoying encounter for them, but, here we see that ambush coming out, or the first strike coming out on Luffy's side help out. poppadux getting those boxes, walking it back out. I will say there was a starting hit point malice on the black belt, but the bonuses kind of evened that out. It's fine. But we see Fist with 3 hit points on poppadux's side. A Fist with 0 hit points. Party with 0 hit points as we're going to start that whole shindig over. We get the Ruby out of the King and the TNT from Sarah. Alright, back into Canaria, see if this item shop holds our shop item. It does not, but it has very expensive cabins and pretty expensive pures and heals, relatively cheap softs. So, not bad, not great. poppadux already off to the races, heading over in the general direction of Provoca Matoya. That's like Hakuna Matata, but not quite. As we continue on here, we're going to see Papa try to kill off that fighter from the looks of the name, but we'll see if that changes. It's going to be a little difficult now that we're over 100 hit points on that. But heading into the pirates, Luffy doing a quick check of the Matoya cave. There's an XP box that's going to shoot the party up probably around level 6 or 7. Papa checked the magic. I didn't see what it was. It's fine. Clearly wasn't worth buying. Alright, poppadux up to level 5. Having taken out the pirates, we get the crystal, which is going to make the double dip happen on Luffy's side for Matoya. That is sort of the risk of checking those chests early. If those chests have something valuable in them, it's nice to know early, but you never know when you're going to get that crystal, so. Luffy also seeing the business end of the encounter table. And Poppa is out of Provoca. Yes, shoutouts to Heirloom Explosives, as they've been in the family for 2,000 years. What kind of cabinet do you keep those in? That is what I wonder. I mean, do you just keep those in some sort of watertight chest? Do you put them on display like fine china? I don't know. Alright, Luffy quickly taking out those pirates with the Fire 3. A little bit of overkill, but the best kill is overkill. Alright, and Poppa coming in, turning in, well, shortly after getting all of these boxes and finding the wonderful XP chest. Gonna turn in that crystal, gets a slab, not useful today. Well, I mean today in the very immediate sense. We'll be seeing that later, I'm sure. So with these flags, there are a couple of items that are sort of potentially dead items. That being, we have a Vorpal, a Power Bonk, a Ruby, or a Ribbon, as far as items that are incentivized. We also don't necessarily need the Ruby if we find the floater, because if there's no loose in Titan's Trove and you have the floater already, you can just go to Sarda, and that's that. Also, if we're not looking to promote the tail, kind of worthless. We'll see if that's of interest to either runner. I'm going to guess there's less interest on one side than the other, potentially. We find our first loose. It's the crown coming out of the Dwarf Cave. And Ice Armor -1, actually pretty good. With our long walk to Narek. What will the TNT yield? Some herbs. I don't know exactly how we're mining for, you know, exotic grasses. Poppadux so laser focused on getting rid of this fighter that he is forgetting that the tele magic is on there. I think he just wrote it off. It's fine. But Luffy, where are you going, buddy? Oh, Luffy didn't turn in the crystal. And is going to go do that now. Poppadux, meanwhile, headed into the Astos fight. Have Fire 3 will travel. Do not have enough Fire 3. And Luffy now making the walk of shame back. Astos notoriously resilient against elementals, so this little tricky. Poppadux out of there. We're moving on. We're going to find out what level 3 and 4 magics are, because maybe that will help solve our problems. Dead, almost dead, which seems like we're just burning time. Oh, and Astos has the ship, which is relevant. Herb turns into the canal. Super relevant Astos. And shoutouts to Marsh Cave as a risky avoidance strategy, potentially. We'll see how that turns out. That was fast at level 3. Not a whole lot else that we're looking at there. Poppadux is still not interested in any of that white magic. Does not have any intention around getting a knight, so we're not going to check. We're getting Lit 3 and Temper out of level 4. I guess on Poppadux's side, maybe there's a little bit of a money crunch. So we weren't able to get Temper yet, but we're thinking about it. And those houses, that's like a 1985 housing market. A little under 500 gold a house. Iron armor +4, that's very good armor there. All the thoughts that Poppa has about avoiding that fighter, it makes me feel a little weird. You know, you can just wait on an instant death. It's fine, buddy. But we'll see where that heads. Poppadux headed back in the direction of Marsh. Luffy going through the shopping trip. Oh, going back to Astos, because we had not been able to clear that before. But now, with Fire 3 fully restocked on charges because we were able to sleep at an inn, back to full charges on that Lit 3 as well, we'll probably be able to get through this. And I think poppadux having a little bit of money issues because he had to reset out of that giant money box in Toph. Alright, there is the ship for poppadux and level 9 across the board. Luffy looks to be headed to Marsh now. Marsh has been a deceptively busy play in the tournament here, as we've seen a number of loose items come up during the course of the event that have been inside the Marsh Cave. And while we have found one loose and we have not found any junk items yet, well, theoretically, we don't know if that ruby is required at this point, if the floater's behind it or something like that, but we haven't really found any junk, so the possibility of that second loose being less than useful is still on the table. poppadux heading out. We're going where no man has gone before. Luffy's checking Marsh Attic. Marsh Attic, it's a place that exists. It's a place that's easy to hard reset out of. So far, a whole lot of nothing in there. It was a Coral Sword -2 and 66 gold. Yep, that's a reset. poppadux translates the slab, so when the airship comes online, we shall hope to remember that we have already translated a slab. I don't know what poppadux does as far as tracking. I am no trackers ever. So, the black belt grind is where memories of the seed go to die, and, that's a thing. Oh, chat calling in that maybe Luffy forgot to turn in the herb. That would also lead to decisions around going to Marsh, thinking that it's very required. But poppadux turns in that ruby, is going to check the 3 chests, see if we find a loose in there. There's some money, a Zeus bonk. Zeus bonk can be useful, and more money. Not bad, not great. The Zeus bonk can help get the black belt onto a solo grind, which would be super great. And on to Sarda. What does the Hermit hold for us today? What are we taking out of his closet? Zombie D tile in Marsh in front of the incentive box can be very good. We get the tail out of Sarda, which is a hard reset right out of there. Papa has no interest in that today. Luffy takes that Zombie D fight, gets up to level 11 across the board, which can be very helpful. Gets an adamant for his troubles. Well, one thing that has been prevalent in this tournament as well is that Earth Cave has done some things. Oh, is Luffy setting up to just take this right now? It could be the case. And poppadux is heading over. Is going to also check out Marsh. Luffy's black belt already punching pretty significantly. As we can see, the 4 hits, 200 damage on that second swing there. Level 13 across the board. If we're looking to kill off party members, we probably need a little bit of time yet. Luffy acknowledging that by healing that fighter. We may want to take this just for a couple of exploration levels, as I like to call them. Oh, no, we're committing. It is time. And even with the 4th slot position, that 12.5% chance to get hit, well, it still happens 12.5% of the time. poppadux making his way down, doing the marsh dive as well. Oh, Picklesmear calling out as have harm. I believe it has harm undead. That would explain the decision. poppadux just got bodied by some undead. I didn't see what happened. I was looking at chat. So yeah, with the Harm Undead, or Harm Dragon, whichever one it was a very reasonable set of blurses, as I mentioned before. That would explain the damage output that we're seeing against these zombie Ds. A little bit of healing back onto the fighter. We're not quite ready to throw away that meat shield yet, but we are willing to potentially get rid of that black mage. Well, potentially has turned into actually. poppadux, meanwhile, not so interested in diving away from that. The zombie Ds do a frightening amount of damage, so if there is an ambush, that could be the rationale, but Luffy is now committed if he's doing this, and it sure looks like he is. There is no second loose in Marsh that we know of. We haven't seen the key locks yet, but poppadux has remembered the telemagic, has exited out of the basement, and is headed to the attic to see what we shall find. Luffy already up to 20 on that black belt. So this is only getting faster from here, folks. But keep in mind, he's already one-shotting these zombie Ds. It's just going to go quick. The hardest part is going to be menuing those heals in between, getting into the rhythm of the heal pots, where you're not just mashing the button and missing all the frames. A call out from Pickles of Ear, probably get to 32 on this. Makes sense to me. You know, the heal potions are going to be burned through, as these zombie Ds do hurt. They are hitting for 2 to 3 heal pots a swing, so that's pretty bad when you have 2 of them and they both get to swing. 64 damage from that one and a miss. Okay, not bad. But you think about 64 damage coming out, if they ambush and they get turn order, that's still enough to take out 280 hit points real fast. But we're moving. We're getting 43.75 per dragon by the looks of it. A real nice pace. Level 25. I'm down to 37 heals after the usage there. poppadux, meanwhile, has head out. We are done with that. We're going to turn in that adamant. All right, dwarves. What shall you disappoint us with today? It's the bottle. All right. So that's telling me we either have a loose in earth, or the sages are holding out on us, or Crescent Lake Shop. You know, we'll find out soon. Luffy continuing to punch these dragons. That's just going to keep on rolling on. 29 on that black belt. Ah, yes. Remembering that the black belt, this is the other thing. The black belt had heal magic, which means there is 1 charge of life, which means we can raise that fighter when we're ready to get out of here and use the telemagic to exit. I didn't write down these blurses when I saw them. I just looked at them and was like, huh, that's remarkably inoffensive. So that's cool. So the exit from this dungeon will be very easy for Luffy. Most anything that he needs to walk by will run from him when he goes to check his last 2 chests in this floor. And, you know, he's got the MDEF to support getting by things. He's going to have the damage if there's any single thing. It's not going to be a big deal. That is a for sale loot in the Crescent Lake Shop. That's a big deal. Nuke and Warp and Brack at level 6 magic. That is not a place you like to see that, because that means at least roughly level 16 to have any charges of any of those. And who likes putting levels on black mages? Not me. There is a rod on poppadux's side, so that is going to bring Earth into our sphere of caring, as Earth is incentivized on the post-rod block floors. That means the 8 chests on Earth 4. So that's a big deal. Dead is dead. poppadux probably very happy about that. Fist now into slot 1. You know, we'll see if monsters choose to abuse him on that. It is almost 19 minutes in. Luffy continuing on these dragons. We're up to 8 hits. That means we're over 32. That's a good time. That's 34, in fact. And also, as you scale, you're getting the absorb bonus equal to your level that the black belt gets. Now, these zombies still hit very hard sometimes. There was a hit for over 70 there, so... And we are down to our last dozen heal pots. We're down to 9. So this grind probably is not going to last a much longer. But we'll see how long it holds out. 35 is still a very good level for this early in the seed. Versus the level 10 on the Black Belt and Black Mage for Papa. So with Earth in logic, now there is a gamble here. You could have a loose on any of the floors of Earth, and Earth's chests are horrible to check. I know, I've had to do them a lot. And if the loose is on Earth 4, you don't actually know if it was the loose or the incentivized item in placement, because shrug, they were just both there. They were both in random chests. It's fine. And Papa's gonna probably check the grind tiles that are available in the Hall of Giants first, then check the vanilla Earth tile. Mages on the first tile, not great. Ambushing, also not great. They don't hit for much, though, so that's good. Luffy up to 39. But I believe probably ought to heal pots at this point. As anytime you get the double dragons, it's going to start chipping away at that health pool. I missed what the second Hall of Giants tile was, but Papa wasn't impressed. We are out of there. We're checking the Earth tile. We're checking this chest. We'll see what's up. That's a heal pot, and oh, we're just not checking that tile yet, because we're going to check it on the bottom here, probably. Luffy, 400 hit points and a dream. Level 41. Perhaps these heal potions have lasted longer than we expected. Certainly exceeded my expectations, because yes, these things are hitting hard. That is a loose power bonk in Earth 1. That is super important news on poppadux's side. So the power bunk was one of the incentive items. Knowing that that is just on Earth 1 and not progression is very big, as we can stop checking every single chest along the way. Luffy chose to raise the fighter before moving out of here and give it a couple heal potions. That's a decision of all time. I would have held off on the life just in case something decided to do mean things. But we have exited. We have our levels. We are gone. In comes the Black Mage as well. We're getting out of here. Papa up to level 11, working his way through Earth. Will not care about any further chests until the Earth 4 Armory and Lich's bedroom. Big news. Big news. So, again, that power gauntlet is just gigantic in terms of knowing, hey, we no longer need to do any of this garbage. Luffy, finally turning in that herb, is going to get the canal, I believe. Yes, and we'll start following up on all the leads that poppadux has already done, but with a level 42 black belt in hand. That's going to speed things up mightily, and we will never care about money again because we have 6 digits worth. We could buy a whole subdivision, if we so wanted, of housing. It's fine. So now Luffy is going to go up and get that slab that he had reset out of earlier. But again, with that 42 black belt up front, that's going to make a lot of enemies run away. It's going to have the agility scaling. It's not much scaling, but it's a little bit, and it matters. And that will get a lot of potential roadblocks out of the way. Poppadux, meanwhile, has taken out a vampire, heading down to Earth 4. We will find out where our progression is here. Probably a canoe. I don't think it can be much else. We have effectively run out of fetch quests to turn in. We basically need that canoe to do much of anything at this point. Two chests of money so far. 3 chests of money so far. 4 chests of money so far. Baby, it's a quintuple. We got 5 chests full of money, and all of them disappointment, unfortunately, as we are not looking for that right now. Lich hiding this canoe very well in his bedroom, which is a real problem for Papa, who just lost the black belt to these images. Images do hit fairly hard sometimes. And unfortunately, that black mage may not have the firepower to get through everything by himself. We'll see. If Papa's lucky, he'll be able to just fire 3 through the Lich. If he's unlucky, however... Oh, 2 hit points and a dream. 2 hit points and a dream to get out of that encounter where the giants are bullying you so hard. Accidentally walks onto the spike tile. There's that canoe as predicted. We're out of here. We don't care about that last chest. Get out, please. All right, we got a first strike. It's great. Papa headed into Lich's floor with a slightly higher encounter rate than the rest of Earth, as I recall. And seeing... Oh, all right, we see spiders. They're spooky. They're spiders. They're not rolled by our tracker, Danny. This is not her fault if they're bad. Now it's time for Luffy to be disappointed by the Titan's Trove and Sarda. He's walking out. I missed. Did he actually get to Sarda and reset out of it? Probably. That seems like a thing that might have happened. That is a stunned Black Mage and a horrible, horrible way to go. But there was really no way to go but through there. And, man, that's a painful loss of time. But we know where the chest is that we need. We can just go and do the thing and hopefully get a little bit of better RNG on the way down. Luffy translates that slab, gets ready for whenever the airship shows up. That's going to be probably... Let's see, we got Ordeals, Waterfall, and Ice Cave all on the table with that canoe out of Earth once that happens. Papa realizing that there needs to be some sort of adaptation. And that adaptation appears to be levels. Luffy is sailing away. Come sail away with me. As we're going to get that rod from the sages and the loot from the item shop. Alright, Furwolves, that must be that second tile of the Hall of Giants. It's not bad when you have Fire 3. Now, we just need to actually, you know, have it not roll poorly on the last one. But these will give some supplementary levels. That's going to get us up to level 11 currently. Now, with them ambushing, that's unfortunately probably a reset. Yep. Baby Grand instead of a loot for Luffy here. And despite having all the money in the world to buy all the houses in the world, we're still just going to hang on to some tents as well. Alright, Luffy has purchased the loot, is walking on down. Gonna get that rod. Poppadux, meanwhile, still working on that adaptation because Earth Cave can be scary. The images and the giants have shown exactly what they're up to. By the way, Elemental Plus on the Black Mage. I forgot about that blurs too. You know what I forgot about? Literally every blurs, except for, they weren't bad. I have heard a couple of ping noises, and I'm not sure where they're coming from. If it's my phone sitting on my lap as I look at chat, you know, that could be it. I don't know. All right. It's a shark do-do-do-do-do-do. Luffy on his way to Earth. Poppadux on his way to please find experience. That's where we're looking right now. Or potentially bring up the fighter. Oh, we're looking for items. Okay. We need heal pots. Yes, that makes sense. We can't carry any more of those. How many we got? We got 50 exactly. Trolled by the item shop. Well, Luffy gonna make a beeline right on down. I don't know if he checked for... Oh, he's checking the loose on 2, and that means he's gonna probably check every chest on the way down. Not knowing the good news about that power gauntlet on first floor. That's unfortunate, but I understand the idea of how much walking you have to do to get to those first floor chests. It's a little frustrating to have to go get those. Poppadux checking item shops. We're getting tents. Okay, so maybe we're looking at heading over, using our northern docks to do a desert grind. Try to get the supplementary levels there. Or we're doing Peninsula of Power. Okay. That also makes sense. The pop grind is popular for some reasons. Those reasons are, hey, it's pretty accessible. Hey, it's not that far away from an item shop. Now, the downside is it is walking, and it is on the inner sea as far as we're concerned right now. But we're gonna give it a shot on Papa's side. Wyvern, that means we got steak and wings on that first encounter, I think. We just happened to not get the steak. Plenty of wings. And, yep, as expected, Luffy going through all the chests. Remember what I said about Earth kind of sucking for the loose, and how Papa finding that loose right away was real good? Well, there was Earth TFC, showing off exactly how bad all these loose checks are. Meanwhile, Luffy getting bullied by some undead, some of which will run away, many of which will not. The morale, often a problem. There is our second Katana -5, in case you were looking for terrible swords for characters not appearing in this seed. Pickles and beer. Good call out. Yeah, that is the 1-2 Wyvern. All right. This is Zomble Troll, which can be good if the Fire 3 rolls better than it did. Unfortunately, I think that's probably going to be a reset. Yep, that's a bit rough. That Zombie D grind really paying off for Luffy, as nothing will stand in this black belt's way. And if you wanted to equip something on that Black Mage, well, we've got a silver bracelet for you, sir. Papa, we're thinking about our next adaptation. That Peninsula Power Grind was not helpful. Luffy, finding the money room. We have found the money. We're going to continue finding the money, people. Did you know that there's money here? It's great. Harry Rectum asking, what is Go mode in this game? Well, we need the rod, which our runners have. We need a chime. We need a cube. We need an oxyel. We need a loot, and we need a key. We have seen the rod, which both of our owners have. We have seen the loot for sale in the town of Crescent Lake. We still need the oxyel, the chime, the cube, and the key to reach our final destination 2,000 years in the past to go take care of chaos. Now, Luffy has got his canoe, is going to have zero problems getting to Lich. Chad, I do want to applaud the fact that I fell for the name. Hello, Purple Speed Bump. Goodbye, Purple Speed Bump. 773 damage in 9 hits. Get out. That does really tell me that it was hurt dragons and not hurt undead, because that would have been way higher on Lich if it was hurt undead. There's a flame shield. There's money. And we are just about 40 steps away from finding our disappointment in the form of a power gauntlet in this bottom left room. But at the same time, knowing that we don't have to open any more chests. That is such a big boon in these 2 loose flag sets. When you finally figure out that we're done. We're done with the boxes. Now, from a standpoint of logic, we have this canoe that's going to tell us several things. Luffy even choosing to keep the power bonk. I'm going to warp on out and save it. We're done in Earth if we want to be. He's skeptical of that, which means he forgot that the crown that he got from Dwarf Cave was the other loose. It's okay. As I said before, the Black Belt grind is exactly where the memory of anything you've done in this seed goes to die. And that is a very easy fact to miss. Sure, you remember you got the crown, but remembering that you got it from the loose is very easy to lose track of when you've taken zombie Ds for 15 to 20 minutes. We are 36 minutes in. Luffy has 1 orb lit, as the Earth orb has been lit, but we need to figure out where we're going next, and it's looking like an ordeals play. Poppa back to the vampire. We're getting this vampire back into the dirt. And we're not checking anything on the way down. We know exactly where that canoe is. Poppa has been here before and does not want to waste those steps. Fitbit be darned. Alright, the pillars. The pillars! Yes, even the undead zombies will run away from you. It's the absolute glory of morale. Alright, so we have... I always count them numbered. So that was 2. And is the second pillar good? Yeah, it looks good. That looks like 222 so far. Oh, we have already gone through 1. That's nice. So we are all the way up. We have ascended ordeals. We got a nasty seafood party platter at the top of that, which, I hate to say it, that could be a real problem for Poppa if he also chooses to go here and he runs into this tile. Oh, that absolutely obliterated the black belt. I'm assuming that there was a death touch in there. That is a bad time, even through the MDEF, but if you have enough hits, 3 and 256 will come your way anyway. But at least we know the pillar maze. It's a bunch of 2s. And whatever the first one was, I don't know. But this pillar maze is very easy to navigate once you know what the incorrect options are. You head right to the correct ones. I'm going to assume that these lobsters are the pinchy cohort of problem makers. We are still checking chests. Luffy has indeed forgotten that that crown was loose. But Papa has reached Lich with both characters alive. That's going to be pretty impactful. Oh, that's a blizzard first turn. Putting both characters to a knee. That could be disastrous. There's an Oxyel coming out of Ordeals. Poppadux getting another Fire 3 out. Do we get turn order? We get a Fire 2 in the face, and that is another wipe all the way at the bottom of Earth. Very painful situation that we've got there, but we just got to go again. That's what we're seeing. Luffy, meanwhile, we're out of there with that Oxyel. That means that we can just do the Onrak continent in full. We don't need to check the item shop now. What I'm worried about is Luffy still having forgotten that that crown was the loose, and therefore the two loose have been found, which means that we could see a full sea, and that would be unfortunate, except for Bubble Soda Company, where we very happily provide mermaid-flavored sodas to all of our fabulous customers. And remember, we do use the whole mermaid. And that means you get that can koozie with every six-pack that you buy. And we'll see if Bubbles is carbonated today. If Luffy remembers in time, well, that would be unfortunate for Bubble Soda Company, but fortunate for him. All right. We're back on the Furwolf tile with Papa. So that tells me we're looking a little bit more adaptation. Level 15 is helpful, but man, Blizzard is a beast. And I don't want to deal with blizzards. I want to punch through it. Luffy indeed still checking chests. That is a chime from the robot. Very nice to find. But now he's probably going to think he's looking for a cube. That was a ribbon +4 coming out of our just regular old chest over here. We're putting that on the fighter. We want that fighter to live for the tele magic. Co-founder of Bubble Soda Company, Hate the 13th, joining in on chat, mentioning that indeed each mermaid provides enough carbonation for 2 full bottles of bubble soda. Bubble Soda Company, drink responsibly. Yep, this is the routing of a man who is opening chests. We get a rune -4 on the first floor of C. As we are going left, we are following standard. We think there's an item in C in a random chest routing. All right. Papa continuing the black belt and black mage embiggening. Fire 3 doing pretty good work. They are sub 100 hit points. It's just a very low roll will cause that Fire 3 to not take out the Furwolves. So we are level 18 on both of these characters. That is helpful. But we are also out of Fire 3 charges. It is time to leave and use a house if we have one. All right, Sea Shrine is a thing. As we recall, there was a death touch. Yep, it's the lobsters, isn't it? So we're going back in. Yeah, resting tilt face indeed. That is a situation that we are experiencing on Luffy's side. This Sea Shrine will be extra painful with those lobsters having death touch. They pinch. They pinch very hard. We're like not even tempting fate. We're lining up the lit 3s. We're putting the fighter up front. Please do not kill my black belt anymore. Here's ghosts with an ambush. Yes, they are ghosts with an ambush. Meanwhile, Poppadux working back through Earth. Onto the vampire floor very shortly after a brief asp encounter. Alright, Luffy almost to more chests to open. We got 2 chests to open. We got a Sharknado floor to open. It's not a great time. We're going to get through this, folks. Luffy will probably get through this. We'll see if more lobsters block the way. There are so many extra steps that he's taking for not knowing that he's done here. Alright. Vampire, take 3 on Papa's side. It's gone. Hey, Sharknado being Sharknado. We have a Gershark Big Eye. We're not taking it. We feel we're done with experience, and I agree. I understand the logic of that decision. We're just going to keep on moving, keep running into mummies that won't run away from us, especially with that fighter in the front slot, because the morale is based off of our front slot, and we'll see what decides to bully us here. There's not a lot that's going to run away from us in the Sea Shrine in general. Fire Tile here is kind of whatever. We're just going to get away from that. Papa continuing to work up the levels a bit with that slime tile. There is routing to avoid every one of these spike tiles in in Lich's bedroom, but yeah, the slimes are good. Well, we're taking the slimes. We're interested in the slimes. We're looking to get 21, I think, at the very least. Now we have to deal with slimes living through the Fire 3. All right, Luffy approaching a squid monster. The slimes have wall. Wow, I missed that entirely. That's gross. Hey, that's 8 hits, 1151. Does not kill the Kraken. And the Kraken has punched 2 different characters, meaning it has killed neither before it gets punched in return for another 721. And a downed fish monster. We are feasting on calamari tonight, everybody. And Luffy is going back for the mermaid floors. Well, this is a Bubbles Soda Company endorsed play. This is not the actual play. For moving forward here, Black Belt grinds, where the seat memory goes to die. Black Mage has been lobstered, so we got that going for us. we have life. We're bringing him back. Get out the paddles. All right, a little XP chest, not bad. Whatever. Poppadux, working the way towards Lich. We have the canoe again, and we're moving on. You know, if they're eel-powered, I'm going to say it's okay, Ale. It may not be smart, but it's adequate. We're going to check the terrible chests of this interstitial floor. At least a couple of them. Probably just the 2 that are closest to the mermaid entrance. Pickles, if we're going to do that, we're going to have to portmanteau it to a loose fee. I will say that this is the rising up-and-comer of the meme gameplay here, as Luffy getting multiple memes into the community in a very short period of time if this turns into something. All right, this is a better situation than we had seen before. There's Bubbles. The carbonation is complete. I also saw Legendary get carbonated in there, which tells me that Luffy may have a little bit of an axe to grind with these mermaids at this point. Does not realize that's of his own accord. And one more for Lefanish. That's 3 mermaids. That's a whole 6-pack right there. You get your koozie and all of the mermaids required for that carbonation in one single sea dive. All right, and we're headed up to TFC North, as I like to call it. This is my least favorite chest, and there's a hard reset right out of there. Let's go. Ordeals for poppadux. With more levels under his belt now at 21, I believe. Is going to be able to get through this relatively easy until the lobsters. Luffy has completed the Onrak continent. We're out of here. We're going to see how many chests he continues to open while not realizing the issue at hand. Alright, poppadux taking some fights, getting some more experience, which is good. His position a little bit more precarious on the level front, but, you know, that's just how that goes. Luffy going to ice, very, very reasonable play, as ice pretty much has to be either the key or the cube. That's going to tell us quite a bit. We get squinting fish. My policy of nuking the Caribs continues to be correct. Now, the other thought that I have here, we could be seeing a floater coming out of ice, which would be really funny. We do have both the bottle and the translated slab ready to throw things at our face. That's probably more the direction we should be thinking, given the situation here. But it would be absolutely hilarious if it was key to cube to floater. And we're just going to leave the fairy in the bottle. Maybe yeet it into the past 2,000 years ago on Chaos's floor. We can hope. But how much funnier would this seed be if it was indeed floaterless? We've had relatively few floaterless seeds in the tournament so far. I think mostly just in practice. So that's kind of a big deal there. Hate asking, is this any 3? No, this is 4 required with 2 loose, so we need that cube as well. You got to do all them fiends. And if you watched my race against Fizzle last night, you got to see the crowd disappointment at 2 different Warmechs being run from as I was going across the bridge. There is our floater coming out of ice, and here is the rest of the ice boxes. This is what you paid for, folks. Yeah, Ale with the shout out there. The worst item would have been the cube, where we now then go through all of Mirage Sky before we get to realize our hopes and dreams are really pinned on getting in the air and getting out of here. All right. Papa working through the maze. It's not a fun time for Papa. It's okay. It's not fun for anybody. Every box for Luffy. I'm really curious to see that stat screen at the end. Are you, chat? I'm looking forward to it. Indeed, Ale. We paid for our entire seats, but we're only using the edges. As we are almost 53 minutes into this seed, I just want to just do a little quick shout out to the Speed Gaming crew, who has been fantastic to work with here. We have had very smooth, as far as they can be, live presentations from the Dulles Hilton. And yeah, there were some tech difficulties yesterday. They were putting in some long hours trying to figure this out. That's a Masa +1. That's a fighter's sword if I ever saw one. Good job, Luffy. You found something worth finding. All right. But yes, with the SGLive, we have Danny tracking over to my left, just off camera. We're continuing to push on. 53.5 minutes into this seed. So Luffy about to get into the air at the almost an hour mark. Got to be at least a little bit happy. Papa probably going to make a similar play to what Luffy did, unless we see the rudeness coming from our fabulous friends, the Seafood Party Platter, with their Death Touch lobsters. Or we're just going to get mummied. Get mummied, nerd. All right. Got a bottle to turn in. We get a key. That is part of our go mode equation. Very important find there. Will the slab turn into the cube, or will it be the key at Canaria Castle to give us our last item into go mode and free Luffy from the absolute abject hell of opening every box in Mirage Sky? That is over 50 checks in Mirage Sky. And if you know that the last things in there are a Vorpal and a ribbon, you're probably okay leaving them. There's our cube. That is the go mode. You see that quizzical look on Luffy's face. He realizes, wait a minute. What was I doing for the last 20 minutes? Random encounters, please let Luffy go. Poppadux is out of ordeals. That nightmare is over, which is pretty impressive because I believe he lost the black belt in the mummy fight and had to go solo black mage to get out, which means that he went solo black mage through that Seafood Party Platter. We're sailing to Onrak. Right, we had a little item check. We are getting our revive on Fist. We're leaving dead. Heck that teleport magic. We have only softs and pures for Poppadux in Onrak. That is unfortunate. Luffy will just charge right on up this sky, realizing, hey, wait a minute, Loose, never heard of him. Ale, I will point it out to him. I'll point it out in the interview that you said this with the utmost respect and love, because Love Fee is also part of Luffy. All right, we skying. We're skipping all the chests. Do you know how hard it is to walk past the Asterisk floor and think, you know, what a good investment of time it is to go to all of these chests. All 10 of these chests on this floor. All right. We've got a rude encounter in front of us. We're probably going to run away from it. It's fine. Papa down to a black belt. Probably just lost the black mage to a random encounter. Nope. Just lost the black mage and didn't bring it back up. Okay. We're dealing with it. It's fine. We have pinned our hopes and dreams on a tile that is not here, and the mud goals are goaling. Wow. This has been a very rude seed to Poppadux, and Luffy, for all of the jokes that we have about the loose item hunt, man, he took that zombie D grind early, and it paid off. We're seeing our second to last fiend go down 20. It's 24-51. That's that Harm Dragons coming into play as we see Tiamat 1 just get plastered to the wall. We're not interested in you, Sandworm. Go away. The Paralisks, some of them will run away from Fist. Some Fist will run away from Paralisk. Why, hello to our Wills. The Will Cleosis, the Will Bloodworth hanging out in chat. Good to see you both. All right. We got Wizmummy Mummy and Cockatrice. Wizmummies have spells. They're choosing not to use them, which is good. And Papa's seeing if he can lure a robot to himself. I understand. Yes. No. Oh, that's heartbreak. All right, Luffy charging through a volcano. We got lava tiles for days. We're not taking any encounters. We're taking damage. Luffy going to light this last orb. The fastest of the Fiend dungeons by far. Oh, and Papa looks to have needed to reset there when he had to take the refight of that tile. The robot being very evasive, unfortunately. You don't expect the robot to engage evasive maneuvers when you're just trying to talk to him. Down goes Carrie. That brings Luffy's Black Mage to level 21. That's actually kind of an unexpected level to me. Not a lot of fights taken with that Black Mage upright that have been worth a lot of experience. But at 1 hour 26-ish? No. We got bones in our way. And they're not going to let him run. 1 hour, 35 seconds. We have our first entrance into Topher. 3 hits, 221 from that Masa Swinging Fighter, showing just how few levels are on that Masa Swinging Fighter. But don't worry, we've got a black belt. That was 10 hits, 12-17. Down goes Carrie 2. Farewell. And by that, I mean don't. All right, Kraken 2. That was 8 hits, 791, and 4 hits, 334. That Kraken didn't even get a turn. Now, the trick that Papa was not aware of, I think, or was thinking that was possible, but just not from where he was standing, is you can lure the robot, but you have to leave the room and walk back in to reset the 4 tiles the robot will walk in. Not a piece of lore that is frequently talked about here. As Luffy charges into Chaos, we're getting fast, we're getting a swing, we're getting a punch. 3 hits, 98 out of that Masa. Very sad. 8 hits, 847. Much more reasonable. Chaos with a punch over to the fighter. We got a Blaze come out. That's going to do a little bit of damage. Not a whole lot. 15 hits for 1073. A Rub comes out from our Chaos for not a whole lot. That's 15 hits, 1368 for a finish at 1 hour, 2 minutes, 1 second for LuffyDV taking the win. And Papa, well, you know, it's going to be a move down to the lower bracket. It was a hard-fought fight. And they are getting ready to come on down. Well, gentlemen, as you come on down, grab your mics. Make sure you flip them on. I forgot to flip mine on yesterday. That was a little embarrassing.
This doesn't have a switch. Am I here? It sounds like I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. You're good, Luffy.
Hi.
GG.
Hi.
So, was it when you got to Lefane and got the cube that you realized you found both loose?
Oh, I found another loose already somewhere along the line?
Yeah, the crown was loose in Dwarf.
Oh, well then, I'm glad I full cleared C for no reason.
The community wants me to make sure you know in text that it was committed as very respectfully that we're now dubbing this loose fee.
Look, like I'm known to make mistakes, and sometimes it really bites me, and then sometimes I get lucky. This seems like I probably got lucky then. That full clear of C seems like it was pretty worthless.
Yeah, it sure was. But Bubble Soda Company thanks you for your service, as Hate the 13th points out in chat. As you took out Legendary Lefanish and Bubbles,
Yeah.
very much appreciated. That is a full 6-pack worth of Bubble Soda. And that can koozie.
Yeah, they were in my way. They had to go. I definitely miscounted. I thought I only had one loose. That's unfortunate.
I said it a few times during the broadcast. Black belt grinds are where the seed memory goes to die.
Yep.
And you took that Zombie D to the moon, and it was the biggest boon you could have had, other than, wow, the Death Touch Lobsters. Please.
I mean, I don't know if you saw my face when I hit that Spiked Island ordeals, and I was like, oh, this is going to be Oxyale here, and I'm going to have to go do C, and I'm going to be very scared. And sure enough, because it was 50-50 that this was going to be Oxyale or maybe Floater, because, Vanilla Floater was also extremely cute. Lobsters roll a billion hits, so that, yeah. I think I only wiped in there once or twice, so that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I think you took one wipe, and then you were able to just skirt on by it. You put the fighter up front, and got that out the way.
Yeah, I figured the fighter up front can maybe, if he dies, great, but at least it won't be the black belt who has life, so.
Yeah, you know what? I'll be honest. I was going through the discovery of all those blurses throughout the seed as I completely lost track of them. Like, they're just whatever. There was Telemagic on the fighter. That's the important part, right?
Yeah, yes.
And, turns out there was a lot more going on. Papa, we're getting set up as well. If there's a switch on your microphone, make sure to turn it on. If there's not, I'll just give it a test, see if it lights up for you.
It's good?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Okay.
So GG's, Papa. That was a rough one for you.
Yeah, that was not the best time.
So, Earth Cave.
Yeah, Earth Cave.
That was the whole thing.
Last hour or so there.
Yeah. So you went through some adaptation attempts. You tried the Peninsula Power, and
it wasn't any more friendlier.
Yeah. And then there were the Fur Wolves. That seemed like an improvement.
They were ambushing until I hit about level 15 pretty consistently, so that was why I got out of there.
At least they were sub 100 hit points, right?
Yeah.
So the Fire 3 was doing okay. And then you'd get down to Lich, and just there was new experiences every time.
Yeah, Blizzard.
Fire 2?
Fire 2. Lightning 2.
I'm looking at a man whose eyes are haunted right now, so I don't know if that's coming across very clearly to our audience.
Well, it was my own stubbornness trying to get rid of the fighter as quickly as possible. I wasn't taking any fights early because I wanted to keep his HP low, and the fighter just wouldn't die. So when I went into Earth Cave, I was only like level 5 or 6 and didn't even bother trying the Zombie Ds. That ended up hurting.
So Luffy found those Zombie Ds and immediately just sat on them.
Yeah.
And left at 42. In fact, used the life charge on the fighter so that he had the exit charge to leave. So, but, for all of that, Luffy forgot that the crown was one of the loose and continued checking many boxes.
Yeah. Well, that's what I did yesterday. I didn't realize that the power gauntlet was incentivized. Because I skipped it when I got to the box because my inventory was full and spent another 20 minutes opening boxes looking for a loose.
Oh.
Wow.
That is the experience of the 2 loose flag set right there. It's a classic, and like classics, perhaps it is best viewed in the context of a museum. But sometimes it leads to entertainment for everybody at home. They paid for the full seats, but they were only using the edge. That's a line from A.L. Markin himself.
Hi, Ale.
So, Papa, any other thoughts on this experience?
No. Got another round to come. Hopefully, I'll play a little bit better next time.
Well, let's see who you will be against. We don't know. Because we still need to figure out who is going to be going up against Jay Coper by the looks of it. No, we already know that. We just haven't added it to, or I haven't refreshed this page in a while. That'll be Lord Fizzleby versus Jay Coper, and you'll be going up against the winner of that match. Fizzle beat Ike here earlier today, and just before your match started. Literally just before, as Danny was barely able to get up here to track. Luffy, you will be going up against the winner of the 5 o'clock. I'm already haunted. I don't know if I'm getting through that one.
I mean, this has been a really fun tournament. It's great to see all of our friends like in real life and hang out and just be fun and just do whatever. Good luck. Sir Link-A-Lot is pretty good. I played him last year in the finals, and it was 2 really fun matches, but it was 2 matches that weren't exactly close. So good luck.
Yeah, Link scares me, and I have to go against him in about an hour and 40 minutes. It's going to be a very interesting time, and I believe that one is also going to be broadcast.
I think I saw SG2 earlier, but I'm not positive.
Just refresh my thing. Yeah, SG2. We have some people submitted for comms, but none of have been confirmed. So we're going to figure all that out before the race, obviously. But with that, I think I've run through all of it I had. So let's go on to final thoughts. Luffy, we'll start with you.
Thank you again, Speed Gaming, for putting this on this week and all the hard work everyone has done. This is my second time here. I came down last year just to have some fun and ended up making it far in the tournament. I came down again to have some fun and end up somehow making it far again in the tournament. But I'm just glad to be here. I'm glad to meet my friends and people, and thank everybody that's done everything. Saracen for the comms, Danny for being Danny, and everybody else that's been here, and Papa for a great race. I'm excited to watch it back. So GG's.
Right,
yeah, GG's to you too. Same thing pretty much. Thanks everybody here at Speed Gaming for putting on a great event. This is my first time here, but it won't be my last. Having a great time and looking forward to my next race.
All right. Well, with that, I do also want to say thank you to Speed Gaming as well for hosting this fabulous event. Lots more action coming up both in FFR and all of the other tournaments. Tons of Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Mega Man 2, I believe. Mega Man X, maybe. One of the Mega Man games, Super Mario Bros. 3. There's a lot of different randomizers being raced all across the Speed Gaming network, so check out all the channels. The next race for FFR, again, that will be 5 o'clock Eastern. That will be me versus Sir Link-A-Lot. And that will be on Speed Gaming 2. Again, 5 p.m. Eastern. So we'll get an announcement out to the spectator role for that as well. But if you like what you saw, definitely check out both of our runners. We should have links to their Twitch IDs in here somewhere. I don't know. I just talk. I'm not the one who runs this thing. But follow both the runners. They put on a fabulous show. I hope that you were entertained as much as I was while I was talking. And with that, we'll give Speed Gaming back their channel and get ready for all the next races that are coming up. Thank you, everybody. Have a great afternoon.